All right, welcome to episode 7 of our Strive Educator Chats. Yes, this is us distancing. No, I'm kidding. Shelia Lange is from Bloomfield and is joining us today. And Shelia, first of all, how are you through all of this right now?
I've been doing remarkably well. My schedule in life actually hasn't changed a whole lot because our school building is open if you need to or want to teach from school. So therefore, we all still get up at the same time. We all load up in the car. I drop my kids off at daycare. I go to work. The only difference is that when I go to work, there aren't any kids in my actual classroom. And then I come home. And so overall, for at least my family structure, aside from not having my primary role as a teacher, as a music teacher. So aside from not having all of the spring honor bands and district music contests and all the night obligations, my personal life hasn't changed so much. And even in school. So the way our school did it, we actually haven't missed a day of school throughout all of this chaos. Prior to it coming down the pike, our administrators had let us know, like, okay, we know this is coming and it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So when this happens, I want us to be teaching via Zoom, get familiar with it. And then we had a COVID scare in the community where we had a family that was self-quarantining, and then it turned out to be negative. But one of those happened to be, it was a spouse of a teacher. So that teacher got to practice Zooming from home while all the kids are in school. So we have teachers that are monitoring his Zooming classes in his room. So one day I sat in his classroom with his kids while he was Zoom teaching. And so we kind of got to use him as an experiment for 2 or 3 days before it all officially happened. And so the kids all got familiar with it. Luckily, he's the history teacher who literally teaches every kid in the building, 7 through 12. So every kid got to experiment with Zoom together and in person. And so then we were all like, okay, we now know this is real. So we're all starting to come up with different plans. And then it just all happened a lot faster than we thought. Like, as you guys know, it changed hourly. The day that we closed down, we had a meeting at noon before we went to lunch. He said, hey, XYZ schools are closing. Our ESU is going to stay open as long as possible. Awesome. We're like, great. We got a week to plan. I meet up with him before I go up to teach elementary music, and I say something. He's like, well, I got a meeting with the health people here this afternoon. We'll see what happens. And I'm like, cool. But we're all kind of talking about how we're going to do this next week, and next week we're going to still try to do that. And I had a spring musical we were supposed to do that week. I'm like, we'll just strive it from the gym in the middle of the afternoon, and we'll just let the parents watch it that way. I go up the hill at 2. I talk to the elementary principal at 2:30. The kindergarten teacher brings her class to me and she goes, did you hear we're closing at the end of the day?
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's just how quickly. But again, so then the next day, our superintendent's like, all right, well, we're Zooming tomorrow. So starting the very next day, every kid got into Zoom at 8:00 in the morning. First period gets over at 8:48. They log off. At 8:50, they log on to second class period. That teacher takes attendance. They teach. They log off. And so since day one, our kids have logged in for every class period, all 8 hours of the day. And we take attendance as if it's a regular day. So if somebody doesn't show up, we call our secretary and she calls home and she say, hey, why isn't Joey, in BAM this morning? And she'll call home and be, he's sleeping in his bed or whatever the case may be. So, it's been a wild ride. And so since you see the kids every single day, you get interesting things happening. And my husband's walking in right now and he's going to wonder what I'm doing. So anyway,
everybody's used to Zoom at this point, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. So our kids are pretty savvy with it. We've learned, a personal struggle with me. I learned in the first week how to mute everyone. So I have 43 kids in band. There was a day that I had a kiddo that came on late, and it was the first day that I finally figured out how to get attendance taken in 10 minutes because it takes forever to take attendance of 43 kids in Zoom because I hadn't learned the gallery view yet. Because again, we didn't have much time to play. It was like, boom, we're in Zoom, whether you know what you're doing or not. So the first week was rough, taking attendance in and of itself was a journey. But anyway, I had a kid that got on Zoom. Well, he didn't get in on time. I let the secretary know. She must have called home. Kid gets logged into Zoom, not on mute, and mom is using maybe not school appropriate language in referencing to him that he should be getting on Zoom. And so I learned how to mute everyone with commands after that day, like Control Command M mutes all the kids, so you can avoid. So it's been a journey.
I feel like that's going to go in the social copy.
Right.
You know, tune into this episode, because if you didn't know, you can mute everyone with these.
Those helpful tips.
Yes, Control Command M mutes everyone at one time. So that's really helpful.
I can only imagine. Oh, that's good. That's funny.
Yeah. So anyway, but that's, so like I said, and personally, in a lot of ways, life hasn't changed. The other interesting thing about this whole thing is all of the software that's magically become free for a limited time. I mean, I watched one of your guys' other episodes of Other Teachers, and he mentioned the blizzard of ideas that came flooding after all of this thing happened, and it is a whirlwind. But with my music classroom, they have Smart Music, which is a program where the kids can play into it, and it gives you green notes to tell you if you're right or wrong. And so we've been experimenting with that and playing around with that, and that's something that, you know, we'll probably incorporate next year. Like, it's a really helpful tool that I've never had the time or the funds to go after, but now that we've used it and seen how valuable it can be, my administrator's like, yeah, that looks like a pretty useful tool, you know. So
I love that. That's what we like to ask our educators, is what's something that you're going to incorporate next school year into the new normal. And that's cool that you already have an answer for that. Do you have anything else that is on your radar for incorporating next year?
Yeah. So for this stuff, for the Strive, and so it's great for video stuff. They've got a program for like agriculture and also family consumer science classes. I don't know if you've heard of ICEV. The person I co-teach this class with, they discovered it. It's something that I think our ag teacher was already using, but anyway, it is full of videos that teach. So like something we used for Strive. So we were doing in our Strive class, we were doing what we call BNN, Bees News Network, where we were doing short little video clips of the announcements for the day. And so we were discussing how we were going to go forward with this class being this way. And again, luckily, we're seeing our kids every single day. So we had to find something to do with them every single day when we were meeting with them. We have this ICEV program. It's an online program where it's filled with it, where we watched a video editing program, and it has a bunch of videos of teaching you how to take different shots. So it was talking about different cameras and equipment to use. It had a video teaching about that. The next one talked about different camera angles you could take and why you would take different camera angles. There was like 6 videos, and then with each one is a quiz or a short worksheet they could take. Those are really short and really easy. They're like 5 or 6 questions. Like most of them you could almost answer without watching the video. So I'm not sure. But then there was all these different project ideas in there also. So we ended up taking one of their project ideas, which was we ended up making a COVID-19 video, quarantine video. We just finished it yesterday. And so we took all the lists of the different shots out of this ICEV program that we found. And we said, okay, every day you guys got to take 3 to 5 pictures or videos using these different angles. And they submitted them all. And then we took all of the videos that they had and we pieced together a COVID-19 our experience. Some of it's kind of funny, some of it's kind of heartwarming. It's just kind of, we just finished that today. And so then the way we did that together is I shared my screen on Zoom. And so I shared my screen on Zoom and I basically did the whole iMovie, but then the kids would say, hey, take that picture and let's put it over here. And let's drag this music from this thing. And so I did all of the actual mechanics of it, but the kids were on the other side. And that the other nice thing is that then they could see how if they hadn't gotten into iMovie, they could see the different, that's how you slow motion. That's how you can layer. And it was a way that you assume if they were paying attention, that's the other hard thing about Zoom is because they're muted, they could be doing anything on the other side. And you feel good as a teacher thinking they're learning lots of things. But that's the hard part about Zoom is you never know if they're really paying attention or not. But anyway, so that's ICEV program. There's tons of stuff in there. So we're hoping to, I know that the person, Leanne Runyon, who I co-teach with these classes with, she's the actual digital media teacher. I think she requisitioned for that program so that we can continue using that next year. So.
Sheila, you've answered every question we have, and we've only asked one, I think.
Yeah.
So
No, that's
kudos to
great.
you, first of all.
Oh.
Thank you for sharing all of this. I would like to ask you one that we did not have highlighted, and that was if you could talk a little bit about the community of Bloomfield and how the community and the school are kind of working together. What has the community done with the school, and what has the school done with the community?
Yeah. I don't live right in the community. I live about a half hour, so I'm sure that there's more being done than I can speak to. But one thing I can for sure tell you, it's been going on for a week or two. Obviously, I think one of the biggest thing that's weighing on a lot of people's hearts over this whole COVID-19 thing is particularly with our seniors. Just the way their senior year just fell off a cliff. One of my kids that's in this class made the comment, to someone else. It wasn't to me, but just how everything he lives for in the school year happens in the spring. He's a speech kid. He's a music kid. He's a FCCLA kid. So all of those things that you work up to, they never got district speech. They never. So, these seniors, especially ones that live for those, their year fell off. Now we don't know what's going to happen with graduation. So we started turning on the lights down at the football field from 8 to 8:20 every day, and encouraged all the seniors to come out and all the community members to come out. And obviously we can't get out of our vehicles or anything like that, but to honk and to wave and to make a big deal and try to honor those seniors. And so then, since tomorrow is a senior's official last day, we're trying to amp that up even more and get more people to come out. So tomorrow afternoon, we're going to go out and hang, and I don't know if the seniors know this, but they aren't going to watch this anyway, so that's okay. But we're going to go hang.
Wait a minute. They might.
Well, hopefully they will watch it until like 48 hours from now.
Okay.
But anyway, where they're going to hang like the football jersey up on the fence out there, and a band uniform and a basketball jersey, and the various activities, and spread things out and kind of honor the seniors last year. And it'll be kind of like our awards night for them, because they don't even get an awards night. And then so they're really trying to get everybody to come out in droves and make a big deal for the seniors. And then we're going to do a cruise night after that, and have the fire truck lead the seniors out. And then we have a sports king and queen. So the sports king and queen will be in the first two vehicles leading that cruise night, and then everybody's going to follow, and we'll just kind of loop Main Street a few times for the kids. And so that's the one big thing I know that we're trying to do, back and forth. Like I said, I'm sure that there's more, but that's the one I know of. So
That's great. Oh man.
Yeah.
That's fun.
yeah.
Sounds like there's obviously you guys had, I know that it happened quickly, but the plans of moving forward with school and how it was going to look, you guys were able to implement and go with that really quickly. So that speaks well to your administration to be able to say, let's do this. And then all the teachers and the students got on board too.
It was, yeah. Like I said, it's crazy how well it worked. And I mean, and for us, you live in a bubble. You just kind of think, well, this is what he asked us to do, and we're going to do it. And you're so focused on your here and now. It wasn't until we were doing it for a while that I think we really realized that nobody else around us was doing it the same way. Like they gave us our ideas and we said, okay. And I'm just, on one hand, you can look at life in so many different ways, but for me, I'm just really thankful that it worked that way. Like I said, was it chaos for that first week? Because a lot of us didn't know exactly. I mean, those first 2 weeks, I'm sure my band and choir kids were like, what are we doing today? Because every day I'd be like, all right, this is the plan. That didn't work.
Yeah.
This is the plan. But I'm thankful that we did it that way, because I know me, and if I would have had a week to plan, I would have way over planned, thinking that way more was possible than was. And then it would have been a lot harder for me to scrap those plans, because I spent a week making those plans. So it was nice to be able to be in the trenches and FaceTiming with the kids, because you could say, all right, is this realistic? Is it not realistic? What can I do for you? What can you do for me? It was nice to have that everyday contact with the kids to keep from overwhelming them and to keep from overwhelming yourself. It helped us keep each other in check. So that was nice.
Awesome. Sheila, thanks so much for joining us, and continued good success there up in Bloomfield.
Thanks, guys.